Dr. Sunny Fridge. Welcome to another episode of Rise and Shine with Dr. Sunny, the show that helps you unleash your inner speaking superpowers. Each week you get tips, tools, and techniques to help you become a better communicator. In celebration of Women's History Month, we're continuing to shine the spotlight on some of my amazing co-authors of Voices of the 21st Century, resilient women who rise and make a difference. Plus, how you can make a difference owning your voice when you sign up to attend my free monthly speakers online workshop. So stay tuned. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, share in the comments below where you're watching from. If you're listening by podcast, subscribe so you never miss a show. If you enjoy our programs, please consider making a donation of any amount at wytv7.org to help our CBN broadcasters continue the mission to bring you programming that educates, empowers, and encourages. I believe we all have a purpose and the potential to live our best life. My guest is an actor whose stage now includes being an international best-selling author. Steff Kawasaki is also a Fascinate certified advisor and founder of Hope Inspired Coaching. Welcome, Steff, to the show. How are you?
Aloha, and thank you for inviting me.
I love it that you are alohaing me. Tell us where you're from and a little bit about your business.
I live in Hawaii on the island of Oahu, and I am the founder of Hope Inspired Coaching. And I use this Fascinate Advantage system as part of my coaching business. I help people that are in transition for different jobs, that are looking for a different job or, out of a job. And, during this time, a lot of people lost their jobs, and I'm hoping to help people get back in the workforce.
Well, now, we connected during a book collaboration project through the Women's Speakers Association, Voices of the 21st Century, Resilient Women Who Rise and Make a Difference. And our book launch, that's right, we got our books. Yay. Our book launch was in February. Was it as amazing for you as it was for me when we found out that our book became an international bestseller that makes us best-selling authors?
Yes, that was very exciting, and a nice, pleasant experience.
Yes, it was. It's been amazing just to find out all of the inspiring stories. And, the minute that I heard you share during our book launch about your story, I wanted to reach out to you because the struggle that you overcame is much like the struggle that many of the clients that I get the opportunity to help. So I know this is going to be inspiring for them. So tell me just a little bit about what your story is about and the reason that you decided to put it in a book.
Well, I was raised in a typical Asian culture where, I think women in general, their voices were not really heard or important. I felt, and then, being very shy and introverted, I was very comfortable letting other people speak for me, actually finish my sentences and literally think for me. And, so as I was growing up, I always thought that my voice or my opinions never mattered. So I would just, listen a lot, let other people talk. And I was actually very comfortable doing that. So during my job or my career with the government, I was in positions where I led teams. And because of that, I also leading teams, you end up helping others. But when I had to start presenting projects, I would let other people speak for me, and eventually they'll take the credit for it. And then I was okay with that because I'm a very, I love being in part of a team, and I really believe being part of a team is important. But I really also believe that a lot of my thoughts and my contribution was not being heard, and that's where I realized, and if you read my chapter, it sums it up, and I'm going to leave it as a cliffhanger.
When I read the opening first few paragraphs of your story, I was like, whoa, wow, I can't believe this is happening to her. Could this really be true? Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then I read the rest. It was inspiring. And it's how so many people feel, because what it is it's like you have troubles at times getting your message out. And this was also a great leap of faith for you to pen your story. And I'm glad that you're sharing it. And you've got to read her story. It's going to inspire you. And if you want to share just a little bit more about what you hope that readers take away from your story.
Yes. And what I believe, I think, is the biggest takeaway from, as I was actually writing the story, it kind of came to my mind. I didn't even actually have, it was the aha moment wasn't until I actually wrote it. And so that's another plug for people that may be considering writing about how their journey is to, self-discovery or improvement. Only until you might have it in your head, but maybe probably only until you write it out in a journal or in some notes that you take, is when the aha moments come. And the learning moments, I think, is when you actually do it or actually take action. And so when I started writing it out, the aha moment for me is that even though I want to live my best self, it's not until I do it for others or give others a chance to hear what I have to say is it's the benefit. In other words, because other people were into my life, poured into my life and gave me inspiration and hope and a vision, um, was I able to grow. So how much better, instead of keeping everything on to myself, what I've learned, um, I won't be a benefit for others. And so it's all about living your best self beyond yourself. And that was the aha moment for me.
I love that. And speaking of being beyond yourself, one of the things that you did to invest in yourself is to join an organization called Toastmasters. The purpose of the organization is to help people become better speakers, communicators, and leaders. And we're both members of Toastmasters. So tell me how it's impacted your life.
Toastmasters. That was the best thing that I did was sign up for 2 clubs. Actually, I signed up one for one, and that was during when I was actually working, and the support, the organization support, the club support, the pathway in which you actually learn skills and tips on how to speak confidently. Of course, we all have our different journeys, and it takes us, all these different, and I'm still working on it. Trying to think of things to say at the same time as speaking and looking at somebody in the eye and collaborating as well. But that Toastmaster has brought me into a position where it's safe. It's a safe environment to learn and engage with other people that are in the same situation, that wants to learn as well. Another golden nugget is about listening, is listening with intent and with purpose. And that's how you engage with people.
I really want to thank you for sharing your story, because that is resilience, overcoming the challenge. Because if we aren't able to speak, and I loved how you related it to history and family traditions, and not really being the one that's going to say what you mean and speak up for yourself or for others. And now you're on the journey to help others in that same position. So thanks again for your resilience. How can people connect with you and also find out more about Hope Inspired Coaching?
I have a website, hopeinspiredcoaching.com. So that's one way of connecting with me. And I'm also on Facebook at Steff Kawasaki or Hope Inspired Coaching, and Instagram And that is also another learning moments, as I'm trying to get my word out there. Um, so that's how they can connect with me. And I really, really appreciate your time with this interview and helping me spread the news.
You are so welcome, and I wish you all the best. And before I let you go, I want to ask you about leaving us with some words of inspiration, but also tell me a little bit about Hawaii. I have always wanted to go there, and particularly in my adult stage of life, and it's still my goal once this new normal allows me to travel safely so I can still see all of the wonderful tourist destinations. What's it like being in Hawaii? Do you enjoy it, or is it second nature? You're used to it because it is what it is?
Yeah. I've had the opportunity because my dad worked for Qantas. So we traveled a lot. So I've been to the States, East Coast, West Coast. I've been to foreign countries. And the thing I can share with you about Hawaii is there's what's called the Aloha Spirit. And how do you explain it? There's so many different versions of what that exactly means. But what I can kind of give you a little snippet of is the Aloha Spirit is living your life on a small little island, with a whole bunch of different other people, different cultures. We eat all kinds of foods here from all over the world. There's this one place in the middle of the Pacific where you can find a variety of the foods around the world. People adapt to each other's culture. And I wonder if it's because we are isolated in an island that this Aloha Spirit tends to kind of permeate throughout cultures. We adapt to different cultures, taking and I believe, again, because of this small island in the middle of the Pacific, we end up trying to get along a little better. And it's just about caring for each other and taking care of each other.
I definitely look forward to figuring out a way to do a book collaboration or a speaking engagement, so I have an excuse to come and see you in Hawaii. Yes. So tell us now some words of inspiration to leave us, and specifically, some of the people who feel just like you have at times in your life. And what inspiration can you share?
Well, I'd love to share about the journey. It's not about so much about the destination, but just enjoying your journey of life and remembering that when you encourage others, it's encouraging you. And so there's this one little quote that I want to give you, and it actually came to my mind as I was writing my chapter with this book. It's when the vision of hope inspires one person, imagine the impact of many.
Awesome. Share that quote one more time.
Okay.
Let me let it sink in.
Okay. When the vision of hope inspires one person, imagine the impact of many. So just to keep that in mind, that when you inspire at least one person and they blossom and live their life, how many more people they will impact as well.
Awesome. Steff Kawasaki of Hope Inspired Coaching. Thank you so much for sharing your story and some inspiring words. And coming from Hawaii, how do you say goodbye? Is it the same as hello? Aloha?
Aloha means, hello, goodbye, love, caring for each other. Malama pono. Mahalo is thank you.
I've heard that. Mahalo.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Steff Kawasaki. It's been a pleasure. And it's so wonderful to be part of a wonderful book collaboration project. Much love, much success to you. Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you.
That's all the time we have on this edition of Rise and Shine with Dr. Sunny. Again, thank you. Mahalo to my guest, author, and Hope Inspired Coach, Steff Kawasaki. If you'd like some coaching to become a better presenter, I invite you to join my free monthly Speak and Shine workshop on Zoom. I'll help you unleash your inner speaking superpowers, some you didn't know you had. Spots are limited. To sign up, go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/I Rise and Shine. You can also go to my website, sunnyfridge.com. You will also find links to all my shows and podcasts. And now you can buy my international best-selling book, Voices of the 21st Century, Resilient Women Who Rise and Make a Difference. I love the sound of that. It's music to my ears. Thank you so much for connecting. I'm Dr. Sunny. Remember, it's your time to rise and shine.